Oh, Geoffrey. Good grief. Where to begin? Uh, yeah, excuse my slovenly appearance, worse than usual. I just got off work. Just saw your video, and there's a few issues I need to go over with you. However, before we begin that I would like to relate to you a nice little parable. When I was young, which was longer than what most people may think, I was a good little Catholic boy going to Catholic school, attending Catholic church, and being a Catholic altar boy. We all know now that being a Catholic altar boy is kind of playing with fire now, don't we? However, back at the time, that's something people did. It was considered to be an honor to be an altar boy or a server or whatever it's called now. Anyway, when I was an altar boy, there was a priest at our parish by the name of Father Don Buzanowski. And all of a sudden, without much warning, he told us that he was leaving for another parish. Now, there was a rumor that started circulating at this time that Father Don was molesting young boys. Now, I never was molested, thankfully. And at the time, I thought, man, what a vicious, horrible thing to say. Fast forward about 20 to 25 years later, this same Father Don Buzanowski, who was a priest in our parish, was tried and found guilty of molesting children. Now, if you would, now knowing that I know now, if you ask me the question, if we could go back in time, and you would ask me the question at that time, do you think he's a pedophile because of the sudden change and all that? Without knowing all the facts, I would have to say no until I knew the facts. Why? Because that would be making an assertion without evidence, which would be just idiotic, which brings us to your so-called investigation of Shock the Clod. Now, obviously, anyone who's watched my videos, and Geoffrey, I know you have watched some of my videos regarding the Clod, and the Clod, obviously not a very nice person. I mean, I don't even refer to him as Shock of God anymore. It's simply Shock the Clod. He knows he acts like an ass. He enjoys acting like an ass, and so he acts like an ass. However, this investigation of yours, and it's obviously just the beginning of this so-called investigation, you done fucked up royally. I mean, fucked it up with a capital F. Who the hell goes ahead and tells the person being investigated in a crime like this that they're being investigated? Now, I know that was a Quinion 81 went ahead and made the allegation first. Unfortunately, which is a good lead. But that's not evidence for me. And that would not be evidence for a court. It might be enough to warrant further investigation, but why give him the warning? Because let's face it, whatever you can put on a computer, you can take off. Now, it's more difficult to take off than it is to put on. We all know this. But don't tell me it can't be done, or that the evidence on the computer can't be destroyed. I mean, if you can destroy the computer, you can destroy the evidence. And now Shock the Clod has all the warning he would need. So if he was or is a pedophile, this entire investigation might be null and void. So, woohoo! Good job on that one. And also, the video where you're announcing to the world that, oh yeah, by the way, don't call Shock of God a pedophile, even though I'm investigating him. There's not one shred of evidence that I saw. You know, why go ahead and report it to us until you fucking done your homework? I mean, come on, what the hell happened? I mean, did your skull split open and your brain slid on the floor? I mean, you're better than this. I've seen your videos about fishing. Those were good videos. It wasn't exactly the smoking gun, but it was something that certainly makes one think and makes one believe that there should be an investigation into the going-ons behind the scenes of one Shock the Clod. I didn't see that here. The only reason that I would have justified making that video is if you could have demonstrated, if you could have demonstrated in any way, shape, or form that Shock the Clod is trying to solicit minors, then there would be a clear and present danger, just like in those fishing videos where you demonstrated that, they might be taking, there's a good chance they might be taking your username and password. That was a clear and present danger. You haven't demonstrated a clear and present danger, so no one's going to be warned. If there is child porn, involved with this guy, it could be taken off. So he wasn't a clear and present danger to anyone. And the thing that he's contributing to, which does hurt children, and it's a damn bad thing, he might have destroyed. Way to go. So until there is, yes, proof and evidence that your allegation that Shock the Clod is a pedophile is both accurate and correct, I am definitely going to have to take the default position and say, you're full of shit. This does not make me happy. I don't like Shock the Clod. I like you. Although you pissed me off right now. That's not the issue. Actually, it is the issue. And what really pisses me off by doing this, I have to agree with a total and complete chicken's ass. Gee, thanks a lot for that. So next time, if there is a next time, do everyone and their sister a favor. If you start an investigation, don't spring it onto the world. Not until you have some evidence. And when you do have evidence, don't tell us first. Please, go to the authorities so that something can be done about this. And just a couple of notes. I'm going to be sending this to Shock the Clod as well. It's 2 notes I want you to, pay very special attention to. First and foremost, you will notice that I dismissed Geoffrey's allegation of pedophilia due to lack of evidence, the same way I have dismissed your claim of Yahweh. No credible evidence for the pedophilia at this point. No credible evidence for God at this point. Both you and Geoffrey have made positive claims. Until I see evidence, I don't have to believe it. It's the exact same thing, Claude. Pay attention to that. Second of all, you will notice that I was it burns me to say this, on your side about this, because I haven't seen any evidence. And until I do, I will be on your side. So don't you dare tell me or go around saying that no atheist ever stood up for you for anything. Because if you do, I am going to make sure that you are reminded of this video constantly. So everyone, thanks for pissing me off. Have a nice fucking head. Bye.